All right. I gotta tell you, CD. Another week has
Mm-hmm.
passed, and
Yes, indeed.
I beat a video game this week.
Mm,
I did.
good.
I beat a video game. Saw the end of it, and that
Very
final
good.
boss was not that final boss was not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. But I'll tell you,
Mm,
this game did a traditional RPG thing that actually made me very worried. It made me worried this
mm-hmm.
boss is going to be a fucking nightmare. Do you want to know
Mm-hmm.
what it? Do you want to know what it did? I'll tell you what it did. It handed me a fuck ton of healing items leading up to the boss.
Mm,
CD, I literally, I'm not exaggerating when I say
mm.
it handed me a shit ton of healing items, like a shit ton, like even more than most games do. Like in comparison to
Mm,
most games I've played, where they hand you like a decent amount, but it's like okay,
mm-hmm.
I got some wiggle room to get through this. No, dog, no. I got to the final boss. I was like, shit. I got like 7 full heals. I got like
Mm-hmm.
15 fucking tranquilizers that refill all of my SP. I got multiple heal
Mm-hmm.
alls. I'm like, fuck, I am stacked.
Mm.
Absolutely stacked.
What's the max of each item that you
I'll
can have?
probably 99. I've never gotten
Ah,
close
okay.
to them. I've never
Mm-hmm.
even gotten close to whatever the
Right.
max is.
So it's more a classical limit, not like
Prob
in Tales.
Yeah, it's probably more of a
Because
classical
Tales
limit.
has an interesting limit of around, I think, 30 or something, 30 or 40 or something like that.
Yeah, it
Which
it
is
holds you
interesting.
back. Yeah. This game,
Mm.
I got all these items and I'm like, fuck, maybe this final boss is actually gonna be, because I
Mm-hmm.
went through and I had made like all the final weapon for all the characters. I went through and did all that, which
Mm-hmm.
was a couple of hours of effort, just because, like I said, it's all nested things where it's like I
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
to make these things to make these things
Layers on
to
layers.
make this thing to
Mm-hmm.
make this thing, but I have to make this thing twice to get to this other thing. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it. I made all the weapons. I was proud of myself. I did all the armors. Everything was completed. I have like almost 100% completion rate at everybody's grow tree. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Bro, I
Alright.
trounced this boss. This boss got fucking rocked, dude. It was fucked.
Nice.
I was like, damn, you didn't have a chance, dog. Like, what the fuck? How am I gonna walk in and wash you in the first 10 minutes of a fight? That's ridiculous. That's fiendish. That's diabolical to get fucking washed that quickly. Just now, honestly, it's really good. I didn't think, like, the thing is, you wouldn't think the game would have such a heavy ending, given how goofy the game, given how like Disgaea level goofy this shit can be sometimes, like
Mm-hmm.
like real Disgaea level writing shit. But it had a really
Mm-hmm.
heartfelt ending. I was like, damn, okay.
Cool.
Didn't expect this from the game with the goofy little alien that wants to destroy the world.
I mean, the first Disgaea also had kind of a not so comedic ending.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I will say this game didn't actually start to get like. Well, I guess it makes sense for a game like this to get like. It stays light and like kind of goofy for like 2/3 of the game, and that last third, everything starts to
Mm-hmm.
add up, and then it's like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
fucked up. Oh, okay, I'm down with that. Fair enough. It's
Mm-hmm.
a fucked up game. My bad. I got through it 63 hours. I feel like
Good.
I did pretty well for 63 hours of commitment. That was not as hard as I thought it was. So
Good.
I will eventually get to the sequel, because I do want to actually check
Mm-hmm.
out the sequel, because
And considering that you put in the effort for all the best weapons, which is probably not what a regular playthrough looks like,
no,
doesn't
no,
surprise that the main boss wasn't that difficult then.
yeah. But the thing is, like, normally in a lot of games, when you get those ultimate weapons, you feel significantly more powerful than you did prior.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really get
Mm-hmm.
that with this. I was
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit more powerful going from one
Okay.
weapon to the next, but I didn't feel like a significant jump. Like, this isn't like a Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
game where it's like you get the ultimate weapon and now you're swinging for the fucking
Mm-hmm.
mountains. You know what I mean? Like,
So it's really just the next level of weapons,
yeah,
essentially.
it's not it's
Okay.
not a significant boost.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had to learn as I played the game that like when you're fighting like boss enemies that have like multiple characters, like there's like 2 or
Mm-hmm.
3 enemies, focus fire. Focus fire. Don't group attack.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick one and just burn him down. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god.
Yeah.
Once I figured that shit out, oh, boss fights got so much easier, dude. Cause you
Mm-hmm.
focus fire that bitch. Ooh, they can't do shit to you once they start taking 5,000 and 6,000 damage directly to the skull. There's not much you
Mm-hmm.
can really say to a guy when he's launching massive power drills at your forehead. Like that's just there's not much you can
I
do.
mean, that's often the case with fights like that. Like, for example, uh, if you have, for example, a boss that has 3 target areas and 2 of them are, for example, the arms and they have special effects. So obviously, at that time, you focus on one, get that one down, focus on the other, get that one down, and then go for the head. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned
Mm,
that.
that's
So
pretty
yeah,
common.
once I took me a bit to figure that out because they give you a fuck ton
Mm-hmm.
of abilities for like attacking multiple targets. So I was under
Mm-hmm.
the impression I should like utilizing that, but then I realized like partway in I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is not working. Because the problem with this game is
Mm-hmm.
the longer the boss fight goes, the more the boss
Mm-hmm.
starts to like intensify the fight, right? So
Mm-hmm. He ramps up his strength,
yeah,
his
so like
attacks, and
he'll
probably also
start
his defense.
so he
Mm-hmm.
starts having like multiple like automatic attacks that will go off and they'll be in the time sequence. So like he'll have his attack,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll have like these other triggering attacks that happen
Mm-hmm.
throughout the fight as the fight goes on. In a couple of fights, he makes those attacks stronger, which really sucks a dick when you look up at the turn order and he has
Mm-hmm.
6 different attacks queued up at
Mm-hmm.
different points. I'm like, oh, fuck that. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Bro, one boss had
So it's
literally,
essentially you see the train coming.
yeah, one boss at one point had 6 different attacks queued up in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like back to back. I was like, no, you gotta die. you gotta die. That's not, no. No. Absolutely not. I'm not about to
I
eat 6 different
refused.
attacks. I refuse to eat 6 attacks back to back. That is diabolical. That is not fair. That is cheating. And I'm not one to say it's cheating most times. That is cheating. Absolute cheating. Last but not least, I am going to be starting voila. The Majima Pirate game, which is absolutely fucking bonkers. What the fuck is this video game? What the fuck is this video game? Damn it. Like a Dragon, stop. Stop. This is
Or continue.
yeah, I guess. This shit's fucking bonkers. I played the demo of this shit. I was like, what the fuck am I playing? And why is this game and why is this semi-budget pirate game better than like I don't know games that have larger budgets? This is fucking stupid. Like you know how people hold like Assassin's Creed Black Flag as being like a really good pirate game, even though it wasn't supposed to be exclusively a pirate game. And then like everyone's been like all these other companies have been trying to chase the whole pirate game thing, but they haven't really. I mean, Skull and Bones. Let's not.
What do you mean? That's a quadruple A title.
Yeah, a quadruple A video game. Everybody, $1 billion blown on this trash heap of a video game contractually. Great work. But yeah, that's it. Just new game, and Monster Hunter comes out next week. So if I am late to recording the show next week, it is not
I know why.
It's not because I'm lazy. It is because I am hunting a monster. So
or you were hunting a monster and then just conked out.
yeah, or I was hunting monsters all the night before and decided sleep was no longer a requirement. So hope for the best.
We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, for me, I'm close to beating a game.
Okay.
I'm pretty close to the final fight in Tales of Graces in the additional chapter. So I'm not sure how much is left, but can't be much because I'm in the what's probably the final dungeon there, which it's an interesting one. It's the one where you have several layers, and each of them has starts out with enemies all having a specific status effect that they uh, do on you, guaranteed. Like the
Okay.
first level was burn, the second level is I think slow, and then there's one with poison, things like that. And you have to find one specific monster that has the antidote for that, and then you have to apply that on a different spot to
Huh.
clear that level of the status effect. Just yet, that's pretty decent. Makes you be a bit more careful which monsters you attack in that level at first.
Ah, okay. Okay. So
So
I
you
don't
just
I don't
wiggle around them,
remember a
sort of.
whole lot about the end game of Graces, so tell me. Is
Mm-hmm.
it doing that Tails thing where the enemies have become a lot more tanky? Or do the enemies seem more
I
consistent?
think so. I think so. I've turned. As I talked about it last time. I turned the difficulty down, and I kept it down because
Ah,
yeah.
okay, fair enough.
Uh,
Yeah, fair enough, fair
but
enough.
yeah, they do seem relatively tanky even at that point. So on on the higher difficulties, yeah, they probably are. They probably take quite a bit.
Cause I know I ran into that in a rise towards the end where
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
so there were like certain encounters where I was like, fuck, this guy takes so long to kill. Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ.
Yeah. Although it also depends because I mean naturally each enemy has its own weaknesses that you can exploit, so that can make a big difference. So I'm not sure how much is the general more tankiness, but they're obviously more difficult in that last part. That's noticeable.
All right.
I'm
All
not
right.
sure how it compares the final dungeon of the main story of Graces and the additional chapter. But from what I've read, the additional chapter is pretty difficult. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they got the additional chapter on the original version. Let me just check what that was like. Did they add that later on, or was that just in the uh in the additional version? That's the after story. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, they actually apparently only added that with Grace's F with the after story. Huh. Cause that, in terms of character development, that seems pretty necessary to me, that after story. So the original version was woefully underdeveloped in that regard, to be honest. Because,
That reminds me of Nino Kuni now, where you defeat
mm-hmm,
Shada, but in the original version that we
mm-hmm,
didn't get, you defeat Shada, but you never actually like the White Witch just is a thing that never gets followed up on.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So like the
And
cutscenes
I,
that cut
I
to
mean
them.
mainly,
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
go on, go on.
I mean mainly in terms of the character interactions in the party.
Uh, Still, I mean that's
Up
still a
to the
payoff
point,
though.
absolutely, but up to the point of the main ending, you get hints of the interpersonal stuff, but nothing, nothing solid. Let's put it like that. Less than you get usually in what I remember from Tales games. there's hints and things, and obviously there's some development, but it also and the main story kind of also cuts off at kind of a cliffhanger.
Huh. Okay.
I
Wasn't
mean,
expecting
you
that.
remember the main enemy in Graces?
Mm-hmm.
Lambda, and well, I mean the game is old enough. I think
Yeah,
we
it's like
can talk about
I
that
haven't
part.
gone back to it in a long time though,
Mm-hmm.
so
Because after you beat Lambda, Aspel merges with him essentially,
yeah, okay, yeah.
and that was the cutoff for the main story.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's kind of a okay. I'll take him in and show him the world how it is, and trust that he won't take me over. And that's it. So yeah, without the additional chapter,
that's just
there's
that.
kind of a significant bit missing.
Yeah, that's a bit of a that's a bit of a thing to just leave a story on. Fuck, Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ,
Yeah.
bro. I've gotten mad about smaller things being left undealt with. That's a big thing to just be
Mm-hmm.
like, there's your story, guys.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. I didn't remember it quite like that when from my first playthrough, but I did remember seeing the last chapter as pretty significant in terms of its developments, and yeah, that's one part of it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least they've now we have a newer version of the game that
Hmm.
exists. So I mean,
Yeah, so more people can
uh,
experience that
yeah,
again.
more people can play it
Yeah.
because
Hmm. Now that
up
it's
until now, it was only on the PS3. You weren't gonna play it any other way.
yep.
And
Yep.
I've seen the PS3 prices for this fucking game now. Like fuck, yeah, fuck,
Hmm.
dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, probably pretty wee.
Yeah, it's a bit expensive. No, it's not a
Hmm.
cheap game. All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
And though two small points, just what overall game is great, but the additional chapter also did two small things that I didn't enjoy as much. They were
Okay.
short, nothing big, but one is at one point in one of the dungeons, it splits up your party,
Okay. That's not great, but okay.
which when you're not uh, experienced with playing the other characters at all is kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's not
Because
great.
I'm one of those. I play pretty much only the main character.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
I
Makes
don't really
sense.
care about playing all the different characters. I want to essentially be good with the main character and get to know his move sets and know which enemies are weak to what. I It works well enough, so I don't see the need
Right.
to to switch uh, to switch it up there. I mean, it's nice that the option is there, but I don't really need it. So when I was then forced to switch around, yeah, it definitely did take some getting used to. And
Yeah.
thankfully, I already had the difficulty down because that, with the regular difficulties or the higher difficulties, would have been annoying.
Yeah. Now I'm
But,
gonna have to make sure I learn at least one other character. Just to be on the safe
mhm.
side.
Yeah, uh, but thankfully that part didn't take too long. But you did have to switch back and forth for some dungeon puzzling. And the other thing was in one of the later dungeons, um, after you fight one of the uh, one of the bosses, there's a sequence where you have to run away or some damaging lasers hit you. Or I'm not sure, not lasers, like energy beams that come out from the floor.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And what happens is after the cutscene, you just stand there and get hit by those things.
No?
Which,
No,
yeah,
please?
not a great transition.
Yeah, thanks, game. Thanks for taxing
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm. So that I can see that being kind of annoying when if you would just get out of the fight with low health,
Yeah, not great.
which
Don't
thankfully
like
I
that.
didn't. But yeah, that didn't seem a great choice. Yeah, but yeah, that was pretty much my complaints there. Otherwise, pretty good game. Still
Yeah,
holds up.
I'm about to say, I think Graces holds up really well,
Hmm.
honestly.
Yeah,
Amongst a lot of
absolutely.
them, I think Graces holds up a little bit better than a few of them. I need to still go play
Hmm.
Abyss before I make any further statements, but
Hmm.
I do want to play that one specifically,
Hmm.
but I just haven't gotten to it. But it's on my uh generalized to-do list. Need
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
play
I
at
mean,
some indeterminate time in history.
yeah, I mean, going by rumors, we might get that one sooner or later anyway. So
So
yeah.
I'll add that one to my list. It's on the list.
Hmm.
So this first story, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I
Hmm.
I fell victim to some of the I won't say misinformation, maybe misunderstanding of information. How about that? I'll say that misunderstanding of
Hmm.
some of the information around it, because I was under the impression, because
Hmm.
we're talking about Marvel Rivals and a
Mm.
portion of the staff. Well, if you had just heard it from the surface level, you would hear that they
Hmm.
fired the staff after the game was successful.
Or
That's
rather,
what I.
significant key people.
Yeah,
Let's call it a bit of a misreporting.
yeah, misreporting. The way I had heard it was they cut the staff
Hmm.
after the
Yeah,
game went successful, which
yeah. Essentially, the headlines were they fired the director and his team, which yeah, that kind of seems significant when you just read that headline.
yeah, yeah, that
You
by
think
itself,
the hell?
yeah, that by itself seems I don't know, a little fucked up.
Mhm.
I don't know. I was like, oh damn, that's fucked up.
Especially
That
when you consider how successful the game is.
Yeah, of all the live service video games that
Hmm.
exist, that's one of the ones that people should be pointing to. Say, hey, they got it. They got it. They're doing it. They're
Yeah,
doing the thing.
absolutely. Hmm.
So, what actually happened? Because it's not that basically. So basically,
It's not
what they
quite that.
did was the director was let go,
It
and
was essentially the a smaller studio, a smaller team that they had in North America in the US that they employed additionally for some things, like R&D stuff, developing some level mechanics,
according
and getting the game out on time, stuff like
according
that.
to the article by
Hmm.
Paul Tassi on Forbes,
Hmm.
he states that he notes that the size of the U.S. team that was cut is 6 people.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
smaller team definitely,
yeah,
considering
yeah.
that.
Considering the size of NetEase is 29,000 people.
That too, yes, and even the main team that works on Marvel Rivals is probably significantly bigger.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's bigger than 6 fucking
Hmm.
people.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they probably also did some things like communicating with some US people, like maybe at Disney or Marvel, like doing those communication things as they're in the same time zone. That makes
So
sense.
this has me like fucked up on a couple different
Hmm.
things. But the thing that fucks me up isn't necessarily the story, isn't necessarily the event of people getting fired. Unfortunately, like that's
Hmm.
not great. Like I'm not happy people lost their jobs. What fucks
Naturally.
me up is how the story how the story was presented. Like
Hmm.
Like, cause the thing that most people link to, and the thing that most people link to is a tweet by Wario64, and that tweet
Mm-hmm.
says Marvel Rivals director and team laid off according to posts.
Yeah. Which makes you think, okay, the dev team from the game is just gone.
Yeah, but like I don't. The thing is, a lot of times I do hold people accountable for like misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like not looking into something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me is like, damn, I fell for it. But this wasn't like a misinformation thing. Like that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a lie. Like that some of the
Yeah.
team was
It
laid off.
essentially, yeah, it was true. It was true. One of the game directors
But
and his team got laid off, yeah. But obviously, the summary is a bit lacking in detail
I
or in
mean,
nuance, to
I
say.
know. Okay, so this is the YouTube problem, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to have a good title.
It's the clickbait problem.
Yeah, it's the clickbait problem, man. Like, and what
Yeah.
pisses me off is I hate it. I hate it, but it works. That's the fucked up
Mhm.
thing. I hate that shit. I hate it so much. But it's like, yeah, it works. And people click it. And I have videos with titles like this that are honest
Mhm.
that use those kind of titles. And it fucking works. And it makes me so angry. I'm like, God damn it.
Mhm.
Ugh, getting views shouldn't require me to like slightly lie. I don't like that. Oh, I know why it works. That's the fucked up thing. Is
Mhm.
like I understand like the mechanics. Like obviously I've fallen for it a few times. Like I can't be mad at people
Mhm.
playing the fucking game, but still that doesn't make me feel any better about it.
Mhm.
So Thaddeus Sasser, my stellar. This was a post. I think this was on LinkedIn that that Wario
Mhm.
shows. A post
I
on
think so,
LinkedIn.
yeah.
This is such a weird industry. My stellar team that just helped deliver an incredible success, new franchise, and Marvel rivals for NetEase. Dot dot dot. And we were just laid off.
Mhm.
Gotta be honest. This post is oddly more upbeat than I thought it would be for someone who just got shit canned. Someone who just got shit canned. Honestly, the way this post
That
sounds, I'm like, damn, you're taking this in
depends on
stride.
which inner voice you're reading it in. Yeah.
Ugh, this is such a weird fucking industry. I went,
Mhm.
me and my team helped develop this amazing new game, and we just got laid the fuck off. God damn it.
Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Thanks, appreciate it. So, according to what I've read, it looks like NetEase was trying to cut back on development studios development studios that weren't in China, so they were cutting back on
Mhm.
U.S. studios, and they were potentially looking at cutting back on some Japanese studios.
Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing process with them. Like they cut the funding of another studio last year. What was it called? Where is it? Yes, Worlds Untold was the studio, and they did fire the team from Visions of Mana around a week after release, I think it was. So yeah, they're definitely
Ugh,
well, sort of cutting the fat or whatever one would call it. They call it they. I mean, it seems that they're cutting stuff outside of China because they deem it to be too expensive. But they haven't cut all of it, just some significant parts of it so far.
Yeah, I mean, working in other countries is more expensive. I'd imagine you have to pay people a little bit more to work in America than you do probably in China itself, within your own
Yeah.
country, and probably
Mm-hmm.
similar in Japan. So yeah, I could definitely understand it. I still think it's
Mm-hmm.
a little fucked up to like
Yeah.
Visions of Mana wasn't a bad game. Like that I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what the sales numbers was on that, but I don't think it was a bad game for what it was. I thought it was actually pretty good, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep.
think it's a little fucked up. You fire him a week after. But the thing is, okay, Here's my thing about this. It's one thing if you contract people to do something and then tell them, oh, hey, when you're done, maybe we'll keep you, maybe we'll not. But, keep that in mind. This is not a guaranteed long-term position. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the feeling with a lot of these places, it's, like,
Yeah.
you like, I don't know, man. I would just feel like fucked up if I put a lot of work into something and then a week after we produced the thing that wasn't a bad product. Pack your bags, motherfuckers.
Uh-huh.
Hit them bricks.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what the sales numbers were for Visions of Mana either, but yeah, it's definitely in general when you're making a complete game and then just a week after release, which there you don't even know what the game's gonna perform like, in general. I mean,
Yeah,
you have an inclination of what it will perform like, but
a week. I mean, I don't know,
might
man.
still might still work out.
There's very few games. I think there's not that. There aren't a lot of games that like
Mhm.
come out the gate swinging in a week. Like outside of like the pillars, you know what I mean? Like games that like your Call of Duties
Mhm.
and shit like that, where it's like you expect
Yeah.
those kind of games to come out
Like
the gate.
AAA games in general, yeah, they obviously you see how they perform after a week. That's about, yeah, enough to judge what it'll do, but smaller games, especially, I mean, Visions of Mana, Mana is a known franchise, but it's not one of the really big ones
Yeah, it's not
at
Dragon
this
Quest.
point. Definitely not.
It's not a
Definitely not.
Dragon Quest.
There's enough people that know about it and that have played it, but it hasn't had that many games in it overall. But although, of course, there have been the collections, but those have been relatively recent. There's been Trials of Mana, which is relatively recent, but yeah, a week. I'm not sure if that. I wouldn't say in a with a game like that that's enough to judge how it'll perform, but I don't. Although I don't think that would have changed much in that case either. Even if it would
No,
have performed better,
yeah, even
they
if it
probably
did,
would have been cut either way. Hmm.
which actually somehow makes it worse. Somehow this makes it worse. I
Yeah,
think, if you ask me, I
yeah,
feel like
true.
that this makes it worse to imagine if this
Yeah.
game had been like a super success and they were like, "Hey guys, congratulations on your great game! You guys sold 3 million copies
Hmm.
in the first week. Fantastic work!
Yeah.
Pack your fucking bags.
Yeah.
We want you.
That
We want
that
you
would have
out.
been worse, definitely.
We want
Yeah.
hand over your keys. We want you out the fucking building the next hour. See ya."
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I get it. The industry is what it is.
Hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. No, tastes bad. Tastes bad. Bad vibes all around. Don't please stop.
Yeah.
I want off this fucking hell ride. Thank you very much.
Well,
I want off.
one could say the team that got fired just now from Marvel Rivals, that was pretty much their experience.
Yeah, yeah. Like I want
They were
off.
part in an extremely successful launch, and yeah, now they can pack the bags, look for something new.
Yeah,
That game hasn't been out that long.
pack your bags. Get the
It's
fuck
been a
out of
bit
here.
longer than a week, but yeah.
Pack your
See,
bags and
when
get
did
the.
that exactly come out? Yeah, December, early December. So that's 2 months. So yeah, that's also not that that much.
All right, so everybody, strap in because I get to talk about something again that I love talking about, but not for the reasons why you think. I promise. So, I've had the luxury of being able to talk smack towards limited run games on a variety of occasions. And oh boy, they never let me down. Now, granted, I've never bought anything from their service, but oh, every time,
didn't enjoy talking about it.
yeah, totally didn't enjoy it. So I realized that this podcast has now been moved to my actual channel and not our original podcasting channel. I am aware some of you might not have listened to or have seen that episode that we did about limited run. So I will have the link to that episode down below so you guys can go check out that episode if you want. You don't have to, but if you want, I'll recap a little bit of it though. I'll give you guys a little bit of a play-by-play. A little something to wet your palate. Not much. So last time we talked about limited run games, these motherfuckers had put out a TMNT NES soundtrack vinyl. This was around the Cowabunga collection game, specifically. Now, you would think if you're going to waste your time to press music to a fucking vinyl, you'd want to put the highest quality sound onto that vinyl, right? You'd want to put something good on there.
One would think, because that's kind of the target audience for vinyls.
Yeah, because the people who buy vinyl are either game collectors who like the memorabilia of the particular game. That's fair. Or people who actually have a record, who have a vinyl player, who might actually listen to it. I say they're both two valid groups of people, right? So yep. They did put out this vinyl. Not only is it lossy OGG Vorbis compressed audio, which I don't know how you do that. Look, I know some of you might not be audiophiles. I'm just going to say, for what you're paying for a vinyl, you do not want lossy fucking audio, let alone, Jesus Christ, why? The exact same compression artifacts, so it's compressed audio from the Cowabunga collection game. The exact same compression artifacts are present. And they've badly extended the loops. So the looping of the music is actually worse than it was in the actual game itself. Guys, I'm actually getting mad about this all over again. This was back in 2024. I shouldn't be getting mad at this shit again. How? Stop! Okay. All right. Now that you've been caught up in some of the buffoonery that this company somehow manages to do, let me bring you to current time, the current hellscape timeline that we currently exist in. So, this was a game that I actually had heard a lot about that was coming out. This is the Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. Now, this game was interesting for a few reasons. One, if you've got the game digitally, you could actually extract the ROM and it was an actual ROM. Like an actual ROM that you could play on an NES emulator. It would actually work. It could work in that regard. If you had the ability, you could put this to a ROM cart of some sort, or one of those ROM carts that you can already buy where you can put your games on the SD card, put it in the cart, put it in the actual
drive or something like that.
Yeah, you could put it in your actual NES and play the game. It would actually work. That's pretty fucking cool. So, Limited Run did a special edition for this game where it was an NES cartridge. An NES cartridge of this game. Now, you would think, with the technology and the means that we have in the year 2025 of our fucking Lord, that this should be...
I would think it shouldn't be that difficult to make an NES cartridge.
This shouldn't be hard. This should not be hard.
Not exactly high tech.
Yeah, not exactly. The physical publisher, Limited Run Games, have been accused by it says one of his customers, but I'm not entirely sure it would only be just one customer, because some of the information that's been put out about this since this come out, this doesn't seem like this seems like a legitimate thing, because this has to do with how the carts mismatch voltages between the carts and the 5 volts that the system uses. So
yeah,
this isn't just the software might have a glitch that might damage your console.
Oopsie.
This is an actual hardware problem. So the thing is, and this is crazy, right? So far I've caught them doing it with Rugrats and Piao Piao. Gutierrez tells us he complained directly to Limited Run, pointing out that although the cart has a voltage regulator, it has no logic level translation. This means that the parts on the board consistently draw power from signals that are not intended to provide power and will damage the cart and my NES. The cartridge is a tiny time bomb for electronics. Hey guys, Future Rezo here. I wanted to kind of put an addendum to a statement I made during the podcast, and I want to just kind of add this in here now so we can be on the same page. I talked about the ROM carts potentially causing... I talked about the flash carts potentially causing damage, or these particular boards potentially causing damage to the console. This is actually not new. I was actually aware of this. I was unaware that it affected these particular kinds of carts. There was actually a news story from a handful of years, I think 2017 or so, involving flash carts by Crix or one of these other flash cart makers, where the flash carts were incompatible. They worked, but the voltage that they used versus the voltage from the console was incompatible and had the potential to cause damage. This is not inherently new. This aspect of it is not new. Now, what's crazy is that this still even was a problem. This problem has been solved by now. So the fact that these people somehow managed to source these boards with this problem when this problem has now been solved multiple times over is absolutely fucking mind-blowing. I don't know how the fuck you even do that to begin with, but they did. Somehow, they still did it. This is not like a new story. I gotta make that very clear. While I talk about it in this episode as being a new thing or something that was recently discovered, this is not recent. This is well documented. This has been within the emulating community, the ROM cart community for the last, I dare say, almost a decade at this point. I don't think that's too far out of a stretch to say. Almost a decade. I don't think this is new. I wanted to sort of put this in here because I wanted to make sure I had the context that I was already aware that this was even a thing prior to now. Because elsewise, people might get the idea that this is somehow like a brand new thing. It's not. It's not a new thing. This is a well-documented thing. The only thing new here is that, the only thing not surprising here is that LRG managed to fuck this up. Because, let's face it, where you have business and you have fuck-ups, LRG is probably going to be there. Anyways, back to the show.
Oh, that's great.
I know what some people are thinking. Well, I mean, how we know? Okay, this is why I trust him on this, because he has some very intricate knowledge of this stuff. I don't know. I just don't feel. I feel like if this was just some regular dude talking about like transistors and shit on a cartridge at like a technical level, I'm a little bit more inclined to think that he might know what he's talking about. I don't know. And here's the crazy thing, right? And this is actually something really funny. So the article that I pulled this from had an update on the 19th of February where Limited Run issued a statement. Now, I find this funny because as I view this article on the website, the post is gone.
Yep.
the post is
it's
gone.
Just poof.
Whoopsie. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The post is gone. Limited Run.
Where could it be?
Huh?
Where could it have gone?
Yeah, that's a little suspect that you took down your post. Now, I didn't actually get a chance to look at this post before they pulled it down, so I don't know. I'm not gonna make any assumptions about why they took the post down, but I'm going to assume that the post that they put up might not have been very good.
Yep, possibly.
Also, Gutierrez also points out that the game itself has logical errors which have since been patched on the Steam release, such as a 2-player soft lock that will affect most players. That'll affect almost all players in a co-op run. and adds
Mhm.
that he is dismayed by the quality of the product. So basically, this version of the game doesn't have any of the updates that the Steam version
Ah,
does. This
okay.
is like an unpatched ROM that they're selling to people
Huh.
on a cart. And here's the part that kills me. They have agreed to give me a 50% refund and keep the game, which they agreed to give them a 50% refund.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, I guess that's better than nothing. I mean,
Better than nothing, I
yeah,
guess.
I get. I don't want to pat them on the fucking back because the thing is, like, them giving him a refund, they're basically admitting to some degree, like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, he might have a point. Like, shit, that might not be.
There might be some problem there.
Yeah, there might be something wrong. And the thing is, this isn't new. Limited
Mm-hmm.
run games has had a continual history with shoddy shit that comes out from their company. We have covered this a lot, and I'm not even all that surprised to some degree. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I didn't expect they to release a game that could potentially damage your fucking console. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
exactly see that one coming. Let's see here. Where is there? Okay, so he isn't the only one that's highlighted this problem. The same problem. I guess it was put. Someone had posted this problem as well from their own experience as a Reddit post, but looked like the moderator had removed that post. However, a
Mm-hmm.
reply is still visible, which says, I am out of patience with LRG due to lack of quality control on their NES boards they choose to publish on. The past 2 to 3 games I've purchased from them don't function correctly because they're clearly sourcing the cheapest boards possible. It's very sad and upsetting that the official release of Piao Piao was published on such low quality hardware. Find someone who has dumped the ROM and save yourself from trying to put this trash board in your NES.
Mm-hmm.
I've actively lobbying NES developers to avoid publishing with LRG. These releases are an embarrassment on the NES development community. Now, I want to know. I'm gonna actually have to go check because I want to know what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck they charge for this. Because these things aren't
Uh-huh.
inherent. Like, limited run stuff isn't like inherently cheap by any stretch of the
Mm-hmm.
imagination, and this is considered you know, a
Oh,
special
60
edition.
bucks.
Oh well,
60 bucks for just the game in the box.
that's still like $60. See,
That's
man,
not cheap.
that's not cheap. Like, you can buy like a game on any other platform, and at least the fucking media that it runs on fucking runs the game and
Uh-huh.
doesn't potentially damage your fucking console in the process. I'm just saying, I've never bought a Super Nintendo game that I put into
Uh-huh.
my Super Nintendo and it potentially fries my fucking console in the process. Like,
Yeah.
it's never been a risk.
Yeah, and I mean, even if this is a limited amount of
Limited run
units,
problems. Got him. As you were before I ruined your afternoon,
mm-hmm.
evening, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, even if this is just a certain amount of units, I don't know how many they do on these. Usually, I mean, these cartridges can't be that costly to make, can they?
I don't think so.
They, I would think that they make a decent profit on these, so they should at least make sure that they don't they don't sell you a 5 pence board in them that just turns your NES into garbage.
Well, okay, so I guess it depends on how much you believe the limited part of limited run, right? Because if these are
Mm-hmm.
truly okay, because here's the fucked up thing, right? If these were truly like
Mm-hmm.
limited, low supply, I would imagine
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you would. I would imagine that.
they're all listed as sold out.
I would imagine. I don't know. In my mind, I would imagine like, okay, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get high quality boards for this, right? But we're not gonna get a lot of them. We're gonna get like a
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple thousand maybe, and make maybe a few thousand and be done with it, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're gonna get. That's all we're gonna sell.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. It feels kind of scummy because if they're charging 60 and these are low quality boards, then I have to
Mm-hmm.
imagine that that what they're making on these has to be pretty fucking good. They have to be doing well. The margins on these have to be pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
They can't this can't be a case of like, oh, we're losing, we're making barely anything of all off of the sales. No, fuck you. I don't believe you. I refuse to believe you.
They wouldn't stay in business if that was the case.
Yeah, like this is not there's no possible way you're not making either really good, like I have to believe the margins on these things have to be good. Because
Yep.
this wasn't even something. This wasn't like some of the other ones where it's like, oh wow, the collection for this is like really really cool looking, has a lot of really cool stuff in it. Where I could maybe think that
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that you get plus everything else might add up, and that might justify the price. Because I've seen some collectors that they did a Persona 3 portable collector's edition for Switch for like
Mm-hmm.
like when it got re-released, and I had like a briefcase from like the game and a bunch of other really cool items, and that was like
Mm-hmm.
130 for that. But like that made sense. Like that's a really cool thing to have it in, right? Like the collector's edition for the original Persona 5 that came out, not Royal, the original one, that came with like a school
Mm-hmm.
bag from the bag, like a bag, like a bag you can actually carry, that was like had the emblem from the school that the character goes to, and that was 110. And that was a bag, the game, a plushie,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like 110. I can't imagine that these are. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't.
Interesting. Hmm.
I don't buy
Check
it.
on these other ones here. They do have a note here that for the NES cartridges, this release is not a part of the limited run games collection. This is not a numbered release. We are distributing this title on behalf of the Mix Games.
Huh.
Huh. Okay.
Use
So
the
they might not be making these themselves,
use
just
the way.
distributing them.
I might need to pull out the way
Hey, what
back.
is the Mix
I might need to
Games?
pull back the way back machine and see if that's been there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So this article
And
actually
also,
has an interesting little piece here. I don't like it.
mm-hmm.
I don't like the. I
Mm-hmm.
hate this as a justification. I really do.
Yes.
John Fairhurst has reportedly said that bad production quality is fine because most customers never open the box, let alone play the game. First off,
Nah,
fuck
it's
you.
fucking stupid.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this. John, fuck you. That is stupid. Stop saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
But that doesn't justify making a bad fucking product, you punts. Like, just because no one's gonna open it, oh, fantastic. That means 2/3 of your fucking customer base don't realize that they bought a literal piece of garbage. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
congrats. You dodged the allegations this time. Nobody can accuse us of our items being shitty if, Oh, you know what? Fuck it, CD. We're not done yet. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? One, I forgot this story happened. Fuck, I forgot about this one because I mentioned this, and I think I mentioned this in this Discord. I just forgot about it because it happened. It happened like in May of last year, and this shit slid right the fuck by me until now. Okay, so once I talk about this, you'll remember this. So there was they released their collector's version of a 3DO game. I guess it's called D.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
Huh?
Think plumbers don't wear ties?
Yeah, it might have been that one. I'm trying to look up which game it was to be exact before I mention. No, it just it's this. This is the D, the collector's edition.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So why am I bringing this up? Because Limited Run released a limited run copy of this 3DO game on CDRs.
All right. Yeah. Yep.
CDRs. Now, for those of you that are not aware of why this might be a little bit of a fucking problem, the 3DO isn't gonna read your fucking CDRs, guys. And this kind of brings back to that.
I'm not even sure about that part, but yeah, probably not. And also, yeah, that's pretty low quality in comparison.
And this kind of like loops me back to that statement I just read off about most people will never open the box, let alone actually play the fucking game.
And the other question that I have then, did they even have a label on that? Or did they just scribble D on the CDR?
Let me see if I can find a better. There's a picture of it on this article. Yeah, there's.
Does it show the disc?
Yeah, no, it's an actual printed disc. Like it has the stuff on the front.
So they at least took a CDR that has a printable front, and they put something on there. Okay, at least that. Because honestly, it would have not surprised me if it would have been just a regular cheap CDR, and then you just scribble D on there with a marker and put it there and ship it.
Honestly, that would be the most on-brand shit I'd ever see in my life. Oh my god, if they did that, dude, I would fucking die. Fucking die.
Just take the cheapest brand of CDRs you can get, like, I don't know, from Walmart or something, and just scribble it on there and ship it.
So, let me talk about this for a second. Todd Gill, Retro Frog, LOL, limited run games is shipping out 3DO games on CDR rather than press discs. And the best part, they won't even run on real hardware.
Perfect.
Someone else. Is yours a CDR as well? I'm curious if they are all that way or just some of them. And Christina Lee says, yeah. If this is true, you're going to lose all your business going forward. It's true. I just got my copy today and it won't boot. Wait, sorry, one sec. And it won't boot. My system has issues with CDRs, but retail games load no problem. This just spits the disc out after trying to read it with no success. Oh, wait, I got another one. Hold on, we're not done yet, CD. Strap in, bitch. Oh, wow, this is bad. Way worse than I thought. I only use limited run games these days as an utter last resort, but this nonsense is why I never buy any of their limited run items or junk like this. $60 plus shipping for a burned CD.
Perfect.
Okay, so just to make sure I make this clear, it was Plumbers Don't Wear Ties and D, the Game Collector's Edition. So it was two games.
Both of them.
Two games. It was two.
Yeah, both 3DO games. Yeah.
Oh man, that's impressive. Oh no, is this D? Yes, audio CD is a press disc, and the data discs are CDR burns and aren't working in many machines.
Well,
Hey,
they
hey,
certainly decided to give their customers the D.
hey, hey, CD. See,
Hmm.
I just want to go back to a quote before
Mm-hmm.
we go any further. uh Bad production quality is fine because most customers never open the box, let alone play the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Need I say more? Do I even need to? And their follow up after they did that in particular was, we will strive to be better. Really?
More like you will strive to not be caught again.
Yeah, really. You're gonna strive to be bet. Bro, come on. You're not. I'm not buying. I'm not. No, no. You're not about to try to slide
Nope,
this
we're
shit to
literally
me.
not buying.
Yeah. I mean, I already wasn't, but still, that's not the
Yeah,
point.
me neither. So yeah,
Uh,
but
I
yeah,
for I
we keep
forgot.
not buying.
I forgot about the. See, I only remember
Mm-hmm.
the audio vinyl, the vinyl problem.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about the 3DO games press the fucking CDRs that you could buy at a convenience store.
Yeah. And costly, high effort stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you paid $60. Oh, cool. How much did the CDRs cost you guys? A couple cents per? Huh? Buy them in bulk?
Yeah. And then the ink for the printed label, another few cents.
Yeah, really, really worth that $60, huh? That $60 you paid for, huh? Great,
Absolutely.
great work. Great fucking
Hmm.
work, guys. Really, really
Shipping and
love.
tax not included.
Yeah, really love that shit. Thanks. Appreciate that. Oh, man. A limited run, do me a favor, all right, do me a favor, from one gamer to a greedy company, go out of business, please. Please
Do an unlimited run in the direction of that cliff over there.
yeah. I need
And
you to do
jump.
a full run right off the cliff. Don't look back, don't worry about it. You will not be missed. I won't miss you.
Or limit your runs to 0. That's also
Yeah,
fine.
that'd be great. Do that. Fuck. Actually, one sec. I need to go check. Fuck. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
almost did buy. They had a Persona, like a Persona 4 limited run that I was like tempted to buy, but
Mm-hmm.
thankfully I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the money for it at the time,
Mm.
and I was like super tempted because I am a Persona fan at heart, so the
Mm-hmm.
idea of getting some of these games physically was like, oh yeah, absolutely. But then like it happened.
You need to keep a box with some cards in it at your desk and put, in case of limited run, open this first, and there you note all these cases on.
So I want to talk. So they have something on their site right now that I'm confused about.
Hmm?
I'm confused about it. Actually,
Yes.
fuck it. I'm gonna talk about it. One sec. I'll be right back. I gotta go get something off my shelf so I can talk about this properly. One sec.
All right.
One sec.
Hmm.
Oh no, motherfuckers. We're talking about this shit.
Wonder
I
what
have
this is gonna be.
I happen
Hmm.
to be qualified for this fucking topic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
What's
qualified
it
as
gonna
fuck.
be?
I'm qualified as fuck for this topic. They are
Ah.
doing a limited run of Persona 5 remastered. Now, why does this particularly draw attention
Mhm.
to me? Because they're charging
Mhm.
$35 for this limited run
Uh,
physical copy of the game. Do you want to know why this
mhm.
draws attention to me? Why this personally makes me raise an eye? Because you can
Do
get
tell.
this.
Mhm.
This is Yakuza 3, 4, and 5.
Uh-huh.
And you could probably get it for, I don't know, maybe a few dollars more than this. Actually, fuck you. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on a second.
Ah, Cynic Yakuza. Did I mishear you? And didn't you say Persona before?
Oh
Not
no, no,
Yakuza?
no. This is I'm talking about Yakuza now. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's why I was confused there. But yeah, Yakuza, there it is. Yakuza 5 remastered. Yep, 35. It's in pre-production.
Actually, no. Hold on. I want to look this up real quick.
Hmm?
One sec. How much is
Mm-hmm.
this? Let me go on Amazon right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, do not buy this. Guys, no, 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 I'm serious, CD. For once, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a fucking troll about this. I care about the Yakuza
Uh-huh.
franchise too much. You can buy this
Mm-hmm.
right here
Mm-hmm.
for $4 more.
A whole $4. Whee!
$4. No, God, no, please, guys, listen, listen, listen. The only reason I am doing this is because I like Yakuza far too fucking much to let Limited Run pull some bitch shit like this and get people to buy this. You can literally buy this for $4 more. And, oh, here's the best part, CD. You want to see the best part? You ready for this? Check this out. This version, the box version I have here, it came with this. A little something something I think you might find funny. It came with the box for Yakuza 5!
Oh. That's neat.
Is it clear why maybe I might be a little upset with these people right now?
Nah. Totally not. Absolutely not.
Please, people, listen. Please, don't buy it. Do not. I beg you. I don't have. Look, I will gladly put myself on a platform just to fucking say, don't buy this shit. Do not do it.
What, don't you want to see the R with Yakuza 5 remastered on it?
Yeah. Fucking god damn. I fucking hate Limited Run. I fucking, I don't usually go out of my way to wave my collector dick on the table, but sometimes I don't have a choice when these people do that. I guess I'm just qualified. What can I say? I'm just qualified to do what I do. Do not buy this. Do not buy this from them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as this. Literally the same thing. Don't buy it. At least if you buy this for $5 more, you get 2 other Yakuza games to play. Don't do it. There you go. Anyways, everybody, hope you've enjoyed the show this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show this week. You know, CD, when I initially planned on doing the LRG story, I hadn't planned to turn it into like the entire other half of the show. Hadn't been my intention, but it turns out every time Limited Run Games comes along, I have to talk about it because fuck these guys. Anyways, everybody,
The avalanche just went on.
you can find our podcast on a variety of platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, and YouTube, if that's where you are interested in. And you can find the video of our podcast on my channel every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. There, done. I got it done. I got it all out. Thank you. My obligational script that I stick to, I've gotten done. Thank you very much. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. I know I have. I'm gonna have fun coming up with a thumbnail for this shit this week. This is gonna be fantastic. Get to really be creative with this one. Really. I think the text is gonna be "Don't buy," and then just the LRG logo. don't buy. So no, stay away. That's what I'm going to do. Stay away from LRG. That's gonna be the fucking title for the video. Fuck. Anyways, everybody, hope you all have a fantastic week, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.